Goals. Well, one of the goals was just eliminating phase issues. People get so bogged down in over tracking things and editing things. You know, we knew we wanted to go to tape, not just for that tape compression that you get, but also just as like a simplifier. So Roy Wallace and I talked a lot before this record started about eliminating phase issues in microphones. The studio we recorded at River City had just a ton of great gear, and a 24-track machine that came from Memphis that Elvis worked on. A great console, a bunch of great outboard gear, really made it easy. But yeah, definitely the phase thing, especially with drums, we really approached it as a let's eliminate all phase issues.
So this album was definitely less prep time, and it was more of a raw feel to it. The last album we had a lot more time to sit in the studio and really get everything together, and this one was a little bit more by the seat of the pants, and and recording analog, which I had never done, was a cool experience also.
Well, I recorded a tape, which is in line with that old school simplicity idea. With that said, there's really little room for editing tricks that you might get with Pro Tools or some other digital approach. You really have to be on your A game. And so what the listener hears is 100% honest effort on our end, and it's us giving it all we got.
I like the fact that Anthony came in, new blood, new guitar, new structure, but not losing the old. Like, it was just a natural flow into what Rockit King's been over the last 19 years. Just back to the basics of simple songs and structure. Wasn't overthought a lot. It wasn't like the old days of 4 or 5 nights a week rehearsing. Like, we had to do our homework and like pull together when we could. It's a lot different, but easier to put together. Being that it was so separated, easy. Like, I don't know, level of professionalism over the years of everybody having played in so many different things, and something like that. I don't know.
Really just the tried and true basics, Les Pauls, Tellys, Strats, Marshall style amps. One of the reoccurring themes of this album was old school simplicity or old school recording approach, and so that was the focus, more so than gear, although we do have cool gear, but really letting the songs speak for themselves in a way that connected with us and hopefully connect with you.
So I had the orange amp, which is great amp. Only a few knobs, but it sounds great. And played out of Ampeg 810, and used my Fender Geddy Lee jazz bass for pretty much all of it.
Because Jesse Beveridge needed that Faith No More Thunder Tom, and that's why we got rid of the 12-inch. It came about because of Jesse's hatred for 13 and 14-inch hi-hats during the heavy metal world that we grew up in the 90s. And we constantly bitched, and at some point, I don't know through where or what channel, Sabian came up with 16-inch hi-hats, and we thought, why not? The rebellion.
It was really a stylistic decision for me to sing vocals and backgrounds. I haven't done that in quite a while. Some of the first album, I sang some of the backgrounds, but Anthony and I's work previous to the Rockit King, I sang everything, and it does have a slickness to it. And Anthony was, when we started writing this record in January or February of 16, Anthony was pretty adamant that when we get to recording it, I, do the lead vocals and the background vocals. And it has that slickness to it.
No, I actually preferred it. And the click track and the analog, and then the whole having to be perfect was better for me, being the perfectionist that I am. And not always getting there, but the goal. But yeah, analog's definitely more fun. And keeping you on your toes. You don't get to cheat.
No matter what, it's definitely a standout moment for me. That stemmed from a lullaby that I always sang to my daughter from the day we brought her home. So that the concept of that song was, something. If I kicked a bucket, could she have that song played at her wedding, let's say, and know that I cared. So that conceptually, that song was important to me, and then the outcome of it was pretty heavy duty, tune in my house.
Yeah, Why Becomes, it's a really great, straightforward Rockit King song. And one of the last ones we did, Between the Lines, it was just a real late entry, and it's a real good pop song.
We're doing a tribute to Jesse's father, and decided to throw West Side Blues into the last minute little tribute. And that was probably about a 40 take into 2-3 in the morning. And other variables. Yeah, that was a little bit of a challenge.
Well, I wanted to keep the guitar-centric rock style as found on prior Rockit King albums. But at the same time, everyone has their own style and their own background. For me, whether it's rhythm or lead, I approach guitar with melody in mind, melody that supports the song or the lyric. And in looking back, a lot of times it was almost keyboard influence. One example of that would be the lead on You, We, Me. It goes something like this. To me, when I listen to that, it sounds keyboard influenced.
Vocal chain was pretty simple. The whole record was me singing in the SM7 through a 1073 and a couple cascading 1176 compressors, one being a Uri, one being a Purple. And then, knock a little bit off, knock a little bit off. Nothing crazy, nothing out of the normal. And then West Side Blues, Mary Sumner sang with me, and we both sang into what I think was a big Neumann. But those background vocals on West Side Blues are the two of us singing into one microphone, and then the two of us singing another track, because obviously we're restricted to the 24-track machine. For track count, the two of us sang in like different parts, but at the same time. So there's 4 background vocals, you know, but really just 2 tracks.
I just like the simple fill and take my hand. That, I don't know. I wasn't trying to show off at all on this album, so that when I hear that little fill, like Kenny Aronoff and Mellencamp, kind of, I like that.
Plans post-release. Our goal is fairly simple in that respect. We want to play in front of more people, and we want to kind of enlarge our online footprint. Those are like the 2 areas. Not a lot of people buy albums anymore. We'll make some vinyl, we'll sell those, and a lot of things nowadays are streaming. So if we can, let's, you know, for instance, play several festivals a year, that expands our footprint as a band, as a live band. And then the online presence being a huge part of it now, because that's how people get their music, which is cool with me.
Yeah, I'm super excited to get this record out and hoping it brings a fresh spin to the Rockit King, and hoping that you'll enjoy it as much as we did recording it.
I'm really excited to get this record out there, for people to hear it, and start playing these songs live. And I think people will really dig the record, and also to just start writing some new stuff after this.
With the new album? Yeah, I'd like to tour Europe. That's it. That's my goal. Yeah, see, that's gonna be... Nope. I got nothing at the moment. Yeah, see, again. Yeah, that's no.
That's the thing, I don't have the answers.